There's that good looking Brandon, and there's Dan. And wow.
Hi, Paul.
How are you guys doing?
Hi, Brandon.
Good.
Great.
Excellent. Excellent.
Hey,
Is that Alan?
nope,
Is that the Alan Lampson?
nope.
Oh,
It's actually
I'm
Paul Inoni's alter ego.
I'm ever in awe when I see you.
You're so easily awed.
I've been odd.
And by the way, that's ODD.
Yeah, I was just going to say I've been odd for quite a while. Thank you very much.
Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
And there's Doug.
Mr. Schofield.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. We're just coming on like gangbusters here now.
Ta-da.
Hi, gang.
Hey, Mike.
How are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
Couldn't be better, actually.
Well, you could be, I mean, you could be,
Well, there's always room for adjustment. Let's put it that way, always, no matter what your situation is. But no, we're doing well. I miss my grandson. Haven't seen him in a couple of weeks.
Oh,
Well, FaceTiming is, is what we do. We do a Saturday night thing. I don't know if you guys are into Mandalorian or not, but I am. And we get together for a watch party, as it were, with my daughter in one place, my grandson in another, and Carmen and I in a third spot. So we group watch it.
you go. I saw a picture of a very svelte, I think baritone, although I'm not positive now that I say that, of a quartet called Partners.
that was my younger brother. He's about 50 years younger than I am. That was me.
I was looking for a picture of, I heard from Chuck Labby's daughter,
Ah,
Dana. Steve Salomon sent me a note where she had contacted gone through the website to find out information about Chuck. And so I went to work digging through boxes and found a bunch of pictures of Spirit of 76 and then Welcome Change and forwarded them all to her. She was thrilled. And in the meantime, I found a lot of other, celebrities like David.
Ta-da! Yeah. The funny story is that when I joined the quartet, I was actually working for the bass, John McDonald, and I was the replacement baritone. And the original the quartet at the name at the time was the Uptown Beantown Sound.
okay.
So we were at Irish night one night at Hartford, and Terry Clark was there, and we talked to him and decided we wanted him to coach with us a little bit. So he said, sure, come on down to the house. And the last thing he said, oh, by the way, change your name. That sucks. And so we changed the name to the name I wanted it to be, was Partners. So, and of course, that has a different connotation nowadays than it did 45 or 75 years ago, whichever it is.
Yeah. Well, you could have been the R-Fat B-Flat Bombers.
Oh, wow.
You remember them?
That goes back a long way, too.
That was, they came in second in the prelims when we had the prelims in Halifax.
Oh, that's right. Oh, my God. Well, and that's the year that the Boston Common decided not to go to prelims.
Right. Chord Conspiracy won. We won. And and the R-Fat B-Flat Bombers came in second. I think the coolest guys in town were third.
Wow.
See, a lot of you guys are too young to remember all this stuff,
Well,
No.
that's when we and the district lost a bundle because we had to bring import everybody from the States, the whole panel, and up to Halifax. And
Yep.
I
And you
think
had no
everybody that competed in the semifinals, it was in the finals.
Right. I think there was 56 stateside barber shoppers, as I
Yeah.
recall.
That was something.
I mean, the convention was fun for us, but
Yeah.
there was a lot of Sunrise people there, but
Thank goodness.
Mhm.
Goodness sake, yeah.
But the last Halifax convention was marvelous.
Oh, wasn't it? That was
Oh. Still talking about it.
a lot of fun.
Yeah. By the way, Alan, did you hear that Lou Bernard has passed?
No, really.
Yeah, from Lake Placid area. Yeah,
Yeah.
Actually, he's from Plattsburgh. He was
Plattsburgh.
he
Plattsburgh.
was a
Sorry.
charter member of Plattsburgh. Yeah.
Is
That's
his
too
wife?
bad.
Is his wife still alive?
Yes.
Philomena.
I
I'll
mean,
have to send her a card.
He was a gentleman to end all gentlemen.
Oh, my God, was he ever?
Oh,
Yeah.
what a lovely man he was.
Still was right from the end.
Yeah, was he?
How old?
Yeah.
How old was he, Diane? He had to be
He-
90.
He was
96, I
90,
think,
92.
Yeah.
92.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He had a good run, didn't he, huh?
yeah, he sure did. It was tough in the end because Bill couldn't go see him, so it was a tough haul at that point.
Yeah, that's right, with the
Yeah, but-
COVID. Oh, yeah.
All 7 kids, the whole family were there when he passed.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Hey, Glenn,
Hey
How could-
there, sorry, I lost track of time. We We're
How-
eating dinner.
how could you be last on if you're hosting?
It's magic.
And not Disney magic either.
That's my power.
That might work with somebody, Glenn, but we all know there's no magic.
Yeah.
Steve, I was just telling the guys that I got a hold of Dana and sent her the pictures of Welcome Change and Spirit of 76, and she was very happy.
Excellent. Great. Thank you. That was fast.
I went right at it because I figured if I didn't, never get to it.
Yeah, you're good. Is Paul here?
I am.
Hey, Paul, I just sent you an email about the email you just sent me.
Ah, yes.
It was delivered
Oh,
on the
did it go-
29th.
Where?
It
Not
says
to
at
my
your
house.
mailbox. It says at your mailbox.
Uh,
Well, I sent you the message. So,
Okay, I'll have to check. Yeah. Because I received notice on the 2nd of November that it was being mailed, etc., shipped and all of that. So
right.
I've been looking for it since, and 29th of October?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Let me check that again, make sure.
Was it, did you send it to street or road?
I don't, it went to, I'll find it.
Okay,
22 Hancock Road.
that's me.
Hey, Jay, while they're trying to figure out what was shipped, is Miles Hunt active?
I'm not sure. He hasn't been active with the chorus in a long time. I'm not sure. I haven't had direct contact with him in quite a while concerning barbershop. Anyway, I do not know.
I had an email from him a couple months ago and I responded and I never heard back. So I didn't know if something happened or,
No, I see him on Facebook. He's quite active with his kids and that kind of stuff. So
okay, thanks.
So I think we're pretty close to having a quorum. We probably do, right, Glenn?
Yeah, it looks like it.
So let's call the meeting to order. It's 7:05. We have a quorum. And first thing I'd like to ask, is there going to be any changes or additions to the agenda? I know Diane emailed me something. Shall we add that to the agenda, Diane?
Yes, please do.
Just to remind me what it is. I didn't write it down.
One of them, one pertains to Mountain Division presentation that's going to happen that really is pertinent to everybody.
Okay,
And the second one is being a little premature on my new position.
okay. Consider add it. We'll probably add it in after, probably add it to the end of new business.
That's fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
great. Next meeting. We had talked about having a day-long type of retreat planning session on December 12th. Is everybody still a go with that? What do you think, Mike?
Well, me personally, I'm fine with it. I'll tell you that the music room is where we would use instead of the tight space we were at one time downstairs, then When we were upstairs one time, we had a little bit more room, but I would use the music room, which right now I've got a friend of mine who's a jazz pianist, Grammy Award winner, holding a concert in the music room with about 25 people. And so we're all legal and everything. And like I say, I'm fine with it. I would have tables set up that would be fairly spaced apart. And it's really up to everybody's degree of being comfortable. As long as we have a majority that are comfortable doing it, then I'm good.
I
Mike,
think,
a lot of states have been changing their restrictions and so forth. What's the status in Rhode Island?
We seem to be doing pretty well, actually. We can have up to 33 as a venue. In other words, the music room normally seats 100, and we can go up to 50% capacity as long as the distancing is met. That's why it's only set for 33, and there's about 25 in there tonight. But for us to have a dozen people very well spaced out in there will be no problem according to the legality.
what about the quarantining though? That we've just heard that Maine is again instituting a 2-week quarantine, and I do believe Rhode Island did. The governor was on the news asking for out-of-staters, especially from Massachusetts, to quarantine for 2 weeks.
That supposedly is only for overnight.
Ah,
If you would come overnight, day tripping, like, Massachusetts and Rhode Island is like one city.
Yeah, that was our rule for Connecticut. We had to stay less than 24 hours.
Yeah, if you're just coming in and going out, you're fine.
Is
Okay,
virtual attendance still an option?
No, absolutely. I can have a hard line. We can have a Zoom call for Brandon or others that obviously can't possibly be here. And anybody else that didn't feel comfortable coming, we could just have them on the Zoom.
can I ask the board members, is there anybody who's, let's say, vehemently opposed to meeting in person at Mike's? Do you
I
feel
don't believe-
uncomfortable?
I don't believe I'm still on the board anyway.
You are in December.
You hypothetically, yeah,
Okay.
you would be, but
Then I will Zoom. I'm not going anywhere.
I would Zoom.
Dan will Zoom also.
And I will probably Zoom.
Diane and Steve?
Yep.
I would.
Yeah, Jay? Brandon, of course.
I just thought he'd start his trip now and get here by the 12th.
Well, I do have to ask a question. If that many people are going to Zoom, I don't know how many other have experienced hybrid meetings, but I haven't had much success with them. So I might almost think we'd be better off doing a complete Zoom.
I tend to agree.
Can that be set up for an extended time that like you want, Mike?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
time's no
Okay.
problem.
All right, good, thanks.
that's fine. If that's, I won't have to set up any tables or order any lunch.
Wait, you're not gonna order lunch?
Sunless lunch.
What? I changed my mind.
Okay,
You won't get those sandwiches like you've had the last couple of years.
Yeah, those are good.
I get the strong sense that we'll have this planning meetings session extended throughout the time. So Mike, I'll leave it up to you to set the time for that.
Well, I think that if we want to do similar to what we've done the last several years, we could have a little bit later start. We've had a coffee at 9 o'clock, and I think we started at 10. As I recall, we went from 10 to 12, then we had lunch, and then we did another couple hours. would everybody's preference be to stick with that same kind of schedule, 10 to 12, and then a break? And then a 1 to 3, that kind of thing?
Or could we do, Mike, since it's remote, could we do 8 to 12 and only waste half a day?
Well, not everybody's like me and goes to work at 5 in the morning, so I don't know how early birds some we have here, but
Well, waste is probably a bad word too. I didn't mean it.
I'm good with earlier.
anybody
fine.
object to 8 o'clock, that's fine with me.
No, if we can get it done in the morning, that'd be fine.
All right, let's go with 8 o'clock, and if we can be finished by 12, great, and if it goes to 12:15, then nobody's,
No
All
hybrid.
right, we'll plan it from 8 to 12, 8 to noon.
Great.
Glenn, will you be able to set that up?
I will set that up.
Thank you.
Next up on the agenda, the approval of minutes from our September meeting. If everybody had a chance to read them, they were attached to the Zoom invite. There was a link to the Google Docs. If we had a chance to read them, any additions, corrections, objections, or hearing nothing, we'll accept the minutes.
Okay.
Great. Secretary's report, Glenn.
Hey, we had our first BMI send in for the year. So that was exciting. That's the only excitement I get.
Who was it, Glenn? Glenn, who was it?
It was the Songsters.
What?
The Gentlemen Songsters are setting up their 2021 show.
Lowell.
Lowell, yeah. And so there's a, yeah, so I had actually done some figuring out about this earlier. And so there is a way to kind of transfer your $28 check from last year to this year if we have all the right forms in place. So I sent all those forms off to Nashville yesterday. And yeah, that's kind of going on. There were a lot of questions. Maybe we should turn off the recording about how do people do virtual shows, and I didn't know, and I'm not sure who to ask about that. Is there? But maybe this is a good forum to ask if people are doing virtual shows. Is there any?
It depends if they're charging. If they're not charging, it's pretty simple.
Okay.
But if they're not getting any money for it, even if they're getting donations for it, there could be a problem depending on the music they're using. I just was online with Sweet Adeline's a good portion of this morning.
Okay.
About recording and virtual choirs and choruses and shows and stuff like that. And they've come out with a statement, which
There was something came out from the society, maybe it was last week, about virtual shows and the licensing necessary.
Oh, okay. Let me. I'll look that up.
but it's almost completely dependent on money.
Okay. That makes it easy.
Well, there's also the issue of these virtual choruses and getting putting them up on YouTube without proper financial considerations, and then broadcasting it or making it available to other people. That's one reason I think that Harmony Incorporated had a little problem with their virtual international, was that they could not use YouTube without paying money for the content. Well, YouTube, but not paying YouTube, but paying ASCAP fees.
Actually, Jim, if you have an electronic version, if you could forward it to me, that would be great too. Or do you just see
I
it?
didn't copy it.
Okay, yeah, I'll find it then. I'll look around for it.
Are people in the States practicing in person at all?
Not too many. There are a few reported chapters getting around and meeting every now and then. Okay. But they're few and far between.
Yeah, we had probably our last this past Tuesday because it was warm enough to be outside. But we've been meeting, that was our 11th meeting outdoors in a parking garage, and it's gone very well. Limited in all kinds of ways, but after this, I don't think we're going to meet.
No more warm weather unless you all move to Florida.
Well, I keep talking about, just wear a heavier coat, but it only goes so far.
Don't they heat those parking garages up there?
I wish. That would be nice.
Okay. So, but that's the end of the secretary's report.
Okay, thanks, Glenn. John, you want to mention anything about the treasurer's report?
Yeah, I'll give a quick update. As of this moment, overall, district is showing $22,000 profit for this year. As I stated in my last report, a lot of that is allocated for things like the Almano Fund or the judge's fee and so forth. So I haven't done all those transfers yet. So the operating budget itself will be significantly lower than that. But still, we've come through this fairly well. The dues, I got the last dues payment a week or so ago, and we're basically down about 90. We're at about 90% of what we budgeted for dues income, and about 80% of what we were a year ago.
We're at 90 or down 90?
At 90%, so down 10%, 10% from budget and 20% from last year.
You said down 90 at first. Okay.
Yeah, I changed midstream. I may not have caught up with myself.
But that's attributable to the membership laws.
Yeah, and so the question for, if we get into the budgeting discussion is, what do we anticipate is going to happen when things start to pick up? And then obviously when is that going to be? But so I would say we need to be pretty conservative on budgeting dues for next year. Let's see. Oh, the other thing I just wanted to say quickly is I don't anticipate any significant income. There's a few stripe payments that are coming in for merchandise that Steve's selling. There's we get a monthly check now from the society for contributions people have allocated to the district, but I don't anticipate very much there. The side of it I'm a little unsure of is the expense side. I guess I would encourage anybody who has any expenses to submit. Yeah, I wasn't going to mention you, Steve, but I know you normally turn one in at the end of the year. Sooner would be better than later if you could. But if anybody else has anything that they need to be reimbursed for, I would appreciate getting that as soon as you can. But in the end, I think, financially, we came through the year pretty well. In fact, better than most, because we didn't hold the things that cost us a lot of money. And we need to obviously get back to doing those things, because that's what the district exists for, among other things. But at least this year, it allowed us to reset a little bit and be prepared for picking things up when we can.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds very good. Next up, let's see, treasures. Old business. David, do you have anything to report on, like a final report or some figures?
Oh no, we're not done with Online Leadership Academy. We have 3 more classes. The last class is the 29th. Phase 1 is completed, and we're into phase 2. We've had 4 classes. We've had 76 enrollees for phase 2. It's been going very well, pretty smoothly. There have been a few hiccups. One of the instructors wanted to do a few things independently, and it kind of screwed us up a little bit, but we overcame that. And I've already started a final report, putting numbers together for phase 1. I'll do the same for phase 2 and have a report done before we have our December 12th meeting. But overall, it's been really very encouraging, and the district participation has been really very, very strong. And the next thing will be, and I'll make some recommendations about future future leadership academies. And so, yeah, it's been going very smoothly with the help of Diane and the help of Glenn, converting the Zoom files to YouTube. And I've been sending Steve the links for those YouTube links for each of the classes. And I'm not sure what you're going to do with those yet, Steve, but put them up on the website someplace, I guess.
Yeah. But as a participant, it's like, I agree, they've been going great, David. And I think the fact that we have these recordings, like, is just going to be such a huge asset. Like, as people like are not always, not all the chapters are on schedule with assigning new boards of directors right on time.
Yeah, wonderful. What you're talking about.
I'd be surprised. I didn't know, but it's going to be great to as people are like asking what to do. So
yeah,
very cool.
But it's been going very, very nicely and very encouraging.
I have a major question. Who was that speaking?
Yeah, was that?
It was Glenn.
It was Glenn.
Oh yeah, but I'm kind of froze. I see my videos frozen.
Oh,
yeah.
I kept looking too, Mike.
Yeah. I'm frozen.
Sounds like Glenn, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
No.
I was going to say my screen isn't moving.
He's a ventriloquist.
Yeah, no. So every single online leadership academy has been recorded, and they're all like available, and it's gonna be really, really cool. Especially, after a couple of years, we'll have these things that people will really be able to be a great resource.
Yeah. So
great. Thank you very much, David. That's excellent. That's that's superbly run program. Next up would be a report from Dan Falcone about the virtual fall convention. Final reports and numbers and.
Yes, all right.
Barbershopper of the year.
That's true. That's true.
So I think by all accounts it was a success.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any negative things, so that's awesome. I think that
you did a great job, Dan. Great job.
Yeah.
Like, if you could see my hands, they would be doing the virtual clapping thing.
It was a lot of fun. I quite a different experience, I think, for most folks who participated than what a typical convention is. So some new things. Of course, there were some things that we missed, but I compiled just some numbers here that will help maybe put in perspective what we accomplished together as a district board here. We had 19 hours of classes, 12 choruses presented bios. We had about 279 registrants. John, you can correct me if that's not correct, because some people are doubled there, so I was making an estimate, but around 280. We had 50 virtual chorus participants, and some of them were folks that had been out of the district that came back to just participate, and that was pretty fun. We had 3 social games, 4 afterglows, 4 night events that were premiere on YouTube, so that was fun to be chatting along with folks who are watching it together. We had 14 presenters, including some international folks, and Clay Hine came to talk to us in the virtual chorus. The biggest video that we showed was the virtual chorus video. It has received so far 2,500 views on YouTube. So that's pretty cool. People are showing that around, and who knows where that video has gone and who it has brought together with our music. The next highest video view is the Jamulus how-to video. There's a lot of interest on how to do that, and Anand and I think the other guy's name was Anthony. And we had 400 views on the NEDAC night, the NEDAC show, 300 for the opening and 200 for the closing night, and 120 for watching the Lou Perry recording. And total for all the education videos have been 460 So that's not people who were there live. The videos are continuing to go. They're on our NED YouTube page, and hopefully we're going to be able to publicize that more through the web page so that people can still access this content. I did want to thank the people that helped from the board here. Steve Solomon, big PR and merchandise help. John Englander for all of the Eventbrite bits. Mike Savard and Seth Maslin, who are my Zoom people who helped out all the Zoom meetings and recorded them. And then of course, Kai Outerbridge, who did a lot of the virtual chorus work and organizing that piece. I thought we did some cool socializing with each other, people that I hadn't talked with or maybe hadn't run into before. Are like, wow, that person's really cool. We learned a lot. I learned some cool things from on directing side, from the chorus bios, like things you can do with your chorus that would help to get us through this time. We shared some memories, like with the NEDAC show. I think we brought us together in camaraderie and togetherness, and we even made a little music with the virtual chorus and the Jamulus stuff. So I think overall it was very interesting. I put forward something to Scott Domricius that maybe he wanted to do something similar with youth if this is continuing into summertime, and then now we're looking at midwinter. Mike and I are looking forward to maybe doing something for the district there.
Yep, talk a little bit about that later. Again, I thought it was an outstanding program. I know a lot of thanks go out to you, Dan, and also Kai and your whole team and everybody you mentioned to make this happen. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The sessions that I attended, and I attended quite a few. The shows were outstanding. I enjoyed learning about past district quartet champions, being a relative newcomer to the NED. Brought back some memories, and it was great hearing and learning about that. And of course, learning a lot about the 50-year anniversary of a certain other quartet, 4 scores. That was great. So yeah, and like you said, I learned a lot from the chapters. I think the chapter bios were outstanding. A lot of the chapters put a lot of effort into that, made some really, really fine content. So kudos all around. I can't be happier with the way that turned out. So, and I don't know, I haven't heard of any other district that has actually tried this yet. I've heard some rumors about things they're thinking about, but I don't know. I know they've put up some like a virtual show or something like that, featuring champions from past and stuff, but I don't think they've taken it to the extent that we did, offering all the various programs, the education programs, social programs, and just the shows that we did. So it had everything a convention really should have, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a big risk, and Dan, you really pulled it off.
Yep.
For those of us on the less technical side, it was daunting just to think about, and to have it pull off as well as it did. Bravo, bravo, and bravo.
Yep. So thank you again very, very much. Fall convention. Do we have, Bob, is there anything new from the last time we talked about spring conventions? Probably not.
The way things are going right now, I don't think that we will have the spring convention. We're working on an alternative for quartets out of in Worcester, Massachusetts, where the quartets who want to qualify for Cleveland can actually perform before judges. There'll be no public involved, just the quartets and the judges. I think that the date we're looking at is April 10th. And I think that we'd probably be able to pull off with the guarantee from the hotel that they will, between acts, they will come in and sanitize. It doesn't look like Lake George or Cape Cod will be practical. We're still, I still have gone ahead with planning them. And the fact that if it does open up, that we can do it, then, we still have all of the contracts in place. We still have everything in place. But the way things are going right now in the country, I just don't see April and May that we'll be able to have any gathering. So
What was
we're
that date
trying-
again, Bob?
Excuse me?
What was the date again? April?
10th.
Oh, for the quartets, it would be April 10th. And I've made arrangements with the art center that I have that we can bring up our equipment because we're broadcasting our shows that we're doing here, our musical shows and our art classes and everything. We're broadcasting them. So we could basically bring up our equipment and not cost the district anything. We would have to rent the room. We have a large room in mind. It's about 70 feet long. And I've been working with Alan on that. And if it comes to that, at least we will be able to get the quartets to perform if they do want to go for score in order to get to Cleveland. And that is probably the greatest hope I have that we can actually pull that off. I can't see at this point, as I said before, getting large groups of choruses together or getting an audience. So that's where we are right now. If something changes, then we'll go. I mean, I don't have any, the hotels that we have, the venues that we have are all on board with the fact of waiting until the last minute before they, and we won't be held for any kind of deposits on those if we do it with COVID. But even speaking with the hotels, they don't think that we're actually able to do anything in the spring.
Okay. I know that you might have heard this through the grapevine and everything. I know Sunshine has already canceled their spring conventions.
Yes.
Land Lakes has canceled their spring conventions. There are probably a few other districts out there.
Yeah.
Also, they're considering it, and they'll be probably making decisions very soon.
We have a thing with the 17 events directors, and you can see what's coming.
Mhm.
I know that we were doing very well in New York, and our cases have gone up a lot in the past couple of weeks.
Yep.
And I know it's just skyrocketing around the country. And upstate New York is having a problem, for what I understand, also.
Yeah.
Trying to look at the places where we are having these contests. And, I just don't want to hold out false hope at this point. I'd rather just plan for what we can do.
Yeah, plan what we can do. The other question is the timing on whether or not the society could even have the convention in Cleveland. I know they're planning on it. They're planning
Right.
as if it's going to happen.
Right.
And that, directly affects the quartets that want to qualify. And, I guess it's worth it to plan, to offer the ability to qualify either with a scoring panel or get the best audio setups we can to provide them the best equipment to make a video if it's going to go totally qualifying by video. So there's been some talk about whether or not C&J, as far as I know, C&J will provide panels for districts that want to.
Why don't we, I think Alan will have all that information.
Yeah.
He just had to leave. I don't want to cover anything that he's going to cover, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
he has to take a call.
We've certainly been working together on trying to see if this, it actually, I hold out hope that this can actually work between the separation of the quartets and bringing them in one by one, and the separation between them and the judges, the room being 70 feet long with only about 12 people or so, or 15 people at most in the room. It actually, I think it can actually work. So that would be a great alternative. At least our quartets would be able to qualify. And
Well,
as in
We
Cleveland,
don't even know if there's going to be anything to qualify for.
I
yet.
understand. No, I
Yeah,
understand that.
that's-
It depends on that. We all work backward from that point. If we need qualifications for Cleveland, then we can work backward.
Okay. I was hoping things would be better, but things are not.
They were for a while.
Yeah, they were for a while. Next up, some new business. We already talked about the,
Let's talk about the retreat on December 12th and whether or not we want to come to Music Mansion. Oh,
Very-
never mind.
that's okay. So we're gonna, I'm glad you're reading the agenda, Mike. That's great. Oh, I'll mention while we're talking about the board retreat planning meeting, if you want to get together sometime, either via Zoom or a telephone call or something, you and I can work on that together if you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
So we have a plan. So that's that. The
And
next
I'm gonna
one-
make the meetings for December 12th, like 8 to 12. That's
That's
what she said.
8 to noon, yeah.
8 to noon.
Perfect.
Okay, hold on for a second here. Next up is a presence at the virtual midwinter convention. I don't know if everybody saw I'm not sure some of you I saw the presentation that the society put out about
Yep.
the virtual midwinter convention and how it's going to look and everything. It looks pretty impressive.
He didn't want to come on until he knew he was needed.
Yeah, it shows up just in time.
Timing is everything. Sorry, guys.
That's fine. So what it means for us is that every district is being offered an opportunity to build a virtual building on the campus that they're built virtually for this convention. And the building can make any kind of, there are about 3 or 4 standard kind of configurations for the buildings, but most of them have like a performance area, some boardroom meetings, smaller meeting areas and socializing areas and stuff like that. And then we're free to do whatever we want in the building. We could schedule meetings, we could schedule shows, performances, whatever. I know we have a lot of content already because of our district convention. I think that's an ideal spot for some of those things to be shown. So all the districts have been afforded this. And so every district has been asked to supply a technical person to serve as a liaison with the EHS and the district to answer these questions. And I've asked Mike Savard and Dan Falcone to work together on this, and they'll put together a team to give us a midwinter convention presence. Sort of reminds me about the conventions years and years ago. A lot of districts used to house these huge hospitality rooms at International and things. Maybe some still do, but I think it's a pretty neat idea. We'll see how it's going to work. It doesn't cost the district anything. That was one question that came up. So it was there's no cost to the district. It's just a matter of time, and I'm not sure exactly how much time commitment is going to take for the people that are volunteering to make our presence known there. So all that'll be worked out pretty soon. So I expect I forwarded on contact information from Dan and Mike. I don't know if you've heard anything back yet. Okay, you'll be hearing probably from Dusty Schleier. He's the one running this whole thing. You might hear from Dustin Guyton, but I think you'll probably hear from Dusty. Any questions on that?
Is the district covering our attendance?
I think it should.
Great.
I don't see any reason why not. I don't even know how much it's going to cost.
Well,
It's
if
$100.
$100,
$100.
it's $99 if they do it now. Mike's already got his for free. So it would just be Dan that we'd be talking about for $99.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Unless there's a major objection, I think we could handle that.
Paul raised his finger to his forehead. I'm not sure what finger it was.
I'll
Just as
I'll
Dan asked
subsidize 2 people as long as you're not one of them.
Paul, you should come yourself.
Yeah.
You can control your little avatar. You can make him look like Baby Yoda.
The child, yes.
Short timers, Mike, you've just got to love them, you know?
Yep.
Do we need to make a motion for that just to approve the money, or does that come from some source?
I think it could come out of anybody's budget, I think.
Paul's. Come on.
Sure.
You can take it out. You can take it out of the district president's budget.
Take it out of my next check.
We've underspent in every area, so you take your pick. I think we just ought to do it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not going to argue with that. Let's just register Dan, send us the expense voucher. We'll take care of it.
Mike, you might want to make sure, I don't know if you haven't checked yet, you might have to register even though it's free to you.
Yeah, I got an email that said that I'd be getting information since I had already registered for Cleveland that they'd send info on how to get into Midwinter.
Okay, great. Alrighty. We're ready to do a budget discussion. Do you want to spend time on that tonight or save that for a deep dive in December?
Well, I don't think there's a lot of detail to get into right now, but we might talk about the process a little bit.
Okay.
So given what I've heard, we're still leaving open the possibility of having spring conventions. We haven't had the discussion about August, but HC&E and HX camp, I don't know about those either. So I guess what I would propose is that we do two budgets. One, which is everything as normal if we can do it. And then the other would be the alternative plans, such as the one that Bob brought up for the spring conventions. I've had some conversations with various people about different areas. I haven't actually received anything much in the way of budgets now. Lacking that, I typically would just refer back to previous years and what we've budgeted in the past and use those. But I would also encourage people to think about things that we haven't done in the past that they might want to propose. Again, either in the virtual world or the real world, and get those out on the table so we can discuss them, because if you don't, they definitely won't happen.
Yeah, I think that we look forward to next month's meeting to get a little bit more particular, but as a guideline, the new people coming in, if you refer to last year's budget and then use that as your basis and then go from there. Diane, particularly, and Brandon, do you have copies of last year's budget for your section?
I don't, but I've been in touch with John.
Okay.
So I'm pretty good on it.
Well, one of the things that I'm going to do shortly is put a template together for next year's budget, which will have 2018 actual, 2019 actual, 2020 forecast, and then a placeholder for 2020 budget that you can use. I'll try and get that out in the next week or so.
Okay.
Going so fast, it can't keep up.
Well, yeah, I don't write as fast as I used to. Budget discussion. Okay. David, do you want to bring us up to date on the status of the New Bedford chapter?
David,
you're on mute, bud.
There you go.
Okay, the situation remains bleak for the New Bedford chapter. They still have 0 members on their roster. In late October, conversing with Nate Ogg at International, he wanted to do some sort of a last meeting, a meeting of the membership so that they can decide what they want to do. But since there are no members, I proceeded and did a survey of 18 former members, 18 members that have let their membership expire in the last 3 years. From that, one is deceased, but was not ever reported to the member center. I've spoken to 7. None of the remaining 10 have returned my phone calls. So on October 10th, I emailed the remaining 10 as of the date in October 21st. I have received no replies. In summary, all of the 7 members I spoke with have no objection to a voluntary dissolution of the New Bedford chapter. Of the remaining 10 members, none have replied to my phone calls, nor have they replied to my emails. It is apparent that they have lost interest in the fate of the New Bedford chapter. And then I told Nate, since there is no membership involved, this effort is the closest thing we'll ever get to a meeting of the membership. And he replied and said that yes, that fulfilled the requirement for a final membership meeting. And as of right now, I do not know. I have not heard anything more from International. I don't know if you've heard anything more, Ed.
No.
But it seems like it's in their court. I don't know what we have to do at this point.
Are there funds involved, David?
Well, it's hard to tell because I can't get in touch with Evan Costa, who is the last person out the door, who closed the door and locked it. He's the treasurer, and he does not return my phone calls or my emails. And
Mike Savard's going to help you with that right now. He's about to speak. Look at him. See, he's going to speak.
Let me finish. I did hear from one of the fellows that I spoke with that there was several $1,000s left in their treasury, which is interesting because they still owe the society $163 for their insurance premium. So I guess that there is money involved, but I have not been able to gain any knowledge of that.
We can send some people.
Hey, I got Mike working on it over here.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know, the reason I threw Mike under the bus is the base of his quartet is Evan. So he sees him on a regular basis.
Well, then Evan needs to renew his membership somewhere.
Whoops.
Yeah, I just noticed that he expired at the beginning of October. So
yes.
No, just his membership did.
Yeah.
Thanks for the clarification.
So at this point, I'm not sure, but I think the ball is in the court with Nate Ogg and the staff at International, and I'm not sure what to do next. Other than wait, or I'll be speaking with Nate. He's doing a class for us next week, and so I'll be in touch with him.
Okay. Very good. Let's talk about Diane's additions to the agenda right now.
Awesome, thank you. This will be the first and the longest I've spoken at any of these meetings. So you have to be aware. Just a couple things. One from a Mountain Division manager's standpoint, which I think is important for everybody. A couple months ago, I asked the division presidents and directors of Mountain if they had one musical Christmas gift wish, what would that be? So this Monday evening is the very first wish to come true. I've got Saratoga chapter hosting the presentation by Dr. Jim Henry, balancing and understanding member needs and director needs. I don't care if you're a large chapter, small chapter, we all need all of our members. And it's really tough to juggle no matter which side of the fence you're on. From a member standpoint, they're always, well, used to have games or children, they'd have to go and go to their school, go to games, whatever. They may have a mother-in-law whose birthday is on rehearsal night and they don't want to be in the doghouse, anything like anything. In the same way with directors on the other side are saying, well, I've got a gig coming up next week and who so-and-so isn't going to be here, or gee, I only have one tenor or one baritone. He's not going to be here. That blows my plan, rehearsal plan, stuff like that. So I'm Dr. Henry is going to be talking about that and how we can balance things better. So I wanted to make all of you aware, and if there's any chapter, anybody that you know that might be interested in the presentation, to let me know. There is a limit. I'm hoping it'll be recorded, but they're more than welcome. Let me know and I'll send you the link. So that was the first thing. The other part is I try to foresee what my job might entail come January 1st and kind of be proactive on my thoughts and ideas. One of the things I've been working on since, I don't know, maybe 2 months, I don't know, is working with BHS and trying to rattle their cage on how we can retain our members, especially those that might say, I'd be on the fence, maybe I'll renew it, maybe I won't, and try to retain our members. Some of you know this, I don't know if all of you do, but you do know about the percentage off from the annual membership. So I know you know about that, but I wasn't sure if you were all aware that if they called BHS and they could get the half off, but if they told BHS, I can't do that, or it's not important, or for whatever reason, they will in turn ask, how much can you pay? How much would you be comfortable for paying? And if they come back and say, well, really nothing, they still can hold their membership. BHS is not going to lose their membership. They will still retain it. So I know chapters are reaching out, or should be, to their members that have just left, or not going to renew, or hearing anything like that. But if you know of anybody, if you could send me the chapter name, their name, and an email contact, if you have them, it wouldn't hurt me to follow up with just a brief note encouraging them to hang on there, and then to encourage them to contact the society, and not say anything more than that because I couldn't. So that's my news.
Diane, when you're talking about a dues, I don't know, a waiver or a holiday, are you referring to international dues only?
Yes. Yeah.
Diane, could you tell me what that date was for the Jim Henry situation?
It is this coming Monday. So that would be the 16th at 8 o'clock.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
John or Glenn, have we had anyone interested in that on a district standpoint? Has been any question about district dues to you, either one of you?
No, I have not fielded any questions.
We brought it up at a board meeting a couple of months ago, whether or not we were going to offer discounted dues or reduced dues, and the consensus was that it wasn't a huge amount of money, wouldn't make a huge amount of difference as far as the budget was concerned, and John kind of felt it was going to be much more of a hassle trying to.
Right. No, I just wondered if anybody had questioned it. In other words, if they had gone to international and international said, don't worry about it, do they then, it's up to the individual to go to the district, I guess. And I just was wondering if anyone had done that.
Okay.
Not with me.
No. Okay.
Thanks, Diane.
Yes, thanks.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. That's all for the main part of the meeting. I listed all the officers' reports, but if there's anything, I'll just go down the list here. If there's anything you'd like to report on in your positions, Mike?
Good.
EVP?
I'm good.
Okay. Paul?
All set, thank you.
Great. David Patterson, anything else in addition to he's set? Great.
No.
Montes and judging, Alan.
No.
Don't forget, Alan, you're going to send me stuff to put into the newsletter.
I'm working on it tonight.
Okay. Bob, anything in addition events? No, he's fine. Dan? Dan needs a break. He's done so much the last month and a half or so.
Oh, I'm ready for the next thing, but I also want to hear from any division managers. If you feel like a director is getting tired, burned out, I'd love to hear how I can help them. I feel like when I send my general emails to musical leaders, I don't get a lot of feedback.
Yeah.
But you might have a personal story as you're touching base, like, wow, this director is really, having trouble running a Zoom rehearsal or something. I'd love to help. And also, I wanted to mention that there was an amazing BHS barbershop at home session. It was like a rehearsal for anyone who doesn't have their own rehearsals to go to. It was just marvelous with the amount of talent they had, and it fills up sort of quickly. So I recommend to your folks to sign up for the December one.
Yeah, I was cleaning up some paperwork, and so I ended up contacting the person from Keene, I think. Was it Maine? Oh, I'm not gonna have that. But it was troublesome because I was asking about how are things going and what's going on, and wanted to make sure that it was about BMI stuff, made sure they didn't have the show that they had done. And they were like, yeah, they've only had one meeting since the beginning of the COVID stuff. And I was like, I wanted to do more. I was like, well, and he's been doing a lot of singing, but just not with his chorus. I know, and I didn't think about your site, Steve, in time to go, oh, well, look, there's the virtual meetings page, but I'll send him an email afterward. But resources like that are going to be really important.
Saratoga's meeting is all listed there. They put up there a couple weeks ago. So if you want to get a reference to that, it's right on that website page.
Great.
Everybody.
Yep.
On a side note, if we have any GQ fans in the audience, NBC is hosting GQ on Thursday night. That link is also on the website.
Cool.
Okay.
I think there are also guests on the Hartford show, so that'll be interesting to watch.
Ed, I have something. I'd like to thank the division managers doing a great job in reaching out and staying in touch with chapters, and especially Jim Nolan, who has been producing a monthly report that he sends out to all of the division presidents, and it's just marvelous that he keeps in touch. And quite a different story from Jim than from the previous division manager, who felt that he got whenever he talked to any of the division officers in Yankee division, he was greeted with a rousing round of indifference. And but it's really great to see Jim and Diane and Doug and Jay, all of them doing a great job. And Roger Bernard, who is our newest, they're all making me look really good. So I really appreciate all of their.
That's hard to do.
I know, goodness sake, but they're doing a great job, and I just we owe them a big thank you for all of their efforts in keeping in touch with all the chapters, doing a dynamite job.
Brandon?
I will echo Jim's newsletter. It's awesome.
Brandon, do you have anything for music and performance this month?
Just that I'm looking now at Harmony College and what that all entails. So planning for it either to be in person or online. So that'll be a one or the other kind of deal. Other thing is I'm thinking of a big plan for new members and or older members who might forget their basics of barbershop, probably a web series or something. Maybe I'll get in touch with Dan because he seems to have the YouTube access. But That's kind of on my mind now. So if anybody has any ideas that way, I have a huge document already started up with ideas. So I'll present that at the group meeting.
Great.
Anyway, thanks.
Sounds good. Steve?
Nope, I have nothing
Okay.
at the time.
Scott?
Yeah, I guess about the only thing is what we for HX staff meeting tomorrow night got pushed from October to tomorrow night. And one of the topics will be discussing the possibility of in-person versus virtual, what the options are. What's the best way to make it such a decision? Because that's, it's one of those things where planning and working backwards and figuring the timing is kind of tricky. And Andrea said she's been getting some comments back from the faculty that they have concerns, already at this point. So just wondering if anyone had any suggestions to
I think
offer.
we should come up with a timeline for that at next month's meeting. And, have various drop dead points, whatever, as we've done in the past.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Does Andrea have a sense that perhaps faculty and clinicians and stuff are feeling uncomfortable about?
Yeah, that's basically, I spoke with her on the phone the other day, and that seemed to be one of the concerns. And of course, we'll have a better idea when we have the meeting tomorrow night. We'll be discussing it more in depth.
Yeah.
But she said it, especially since I guess some of the faculty will be coming from Canada and the Canadian border is not open yet, and we don't know if it will when. There's issues there, so it gets more and more complicated.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
All right. I guess in just one other mention aside from HX camp, we do have the YH class that'll be this Sunday night. So if anyone's interested, the big news is that we'll have Destination will be the guest panel for part of the presentation. So it should be an interesting thing with all experienced music educators.
Great.
That's for Leadership Academy?
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
So if you know of anyone who would enjoy that, send them our way.
Only a few thousand seats left.
Get them while they're hot. All righty. Anything for the good of the district?
I have something that I meant to talk to you privately, and so I'll do it now. I think everybody enjoys the newsletter that Ed puts together, right? Don't we all enjoy that? It's an amazing thing. I know he works with Steve and Steve helps him. I can't imagine not having that continue.
Oh, I know
I
where
can
this
hear the
is going.
sucking sound from
Oh,
here.
I know
I can
where
hear
this
it.
is
Yeah, I
going.
know.
It's 1,000 miles away, but I can hear it.
Oh my word. So you're gonna pick up on that, are you, Mike, and
Yeah,
follow
I'm
through?
looking forward to Mike's.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I think the president's been doing it. I think that's
I
perfect.
think that's the.
I think it's called Ed's Notes, and I think it would be great if it continued, and all of us contributed to make Ed's job easier that he's probably willing to accept.
We could change the name to Mike's Musings, and you could take it.
Wait, this is between you two guys.
Mike's memorandum.
Forget this. I'm not even me should be involved in this.
No. But Steve, everything we do in this district involves you to some extent.
Oh, yeah. What have I got myself into here?
But Ed's going to be the immediate past has been, so president is still in his title. So
that's right.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you can think that over, Ed.
I will think that over.
All right.
Great.
Too much.
I love
I don't know
it.
if Well, I don't know if that really qualifies us for the good of the district, but
So smooth.
Well, it may not be for the good of Ed, but it's good for the district.
it's good for the district. Okay.
Diane, where can I find your contact information for emails and calling? This is Paul.
It should be on the district.
On the site under leaders.
Is it up there already?
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
up there within an hour of her being voted in.
Oh my word, you're so good.
Within
You're so
15
good.
minutes.
What took you an hour? Come on, man.
Oh,
Or under division managers.
okay, thank you.
And they're both.
Right. Well,
There's-
this is going to go down on record as one of the shortest board meetings we've ever had. So
All right.
I expect, setting the bar high now for Mike when he takes over. So thank you all for coming tonight, giving up your Friday evening. I think worked out great. Enjoy the football game on Saturday. And also on Sunday. And also we are not conflicting with the Youth and Harmony class on Saturday night. So thank you for adjusting your schedules and making this happen tonight. And until next time, we will meet again on December 12th, 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturday.
Yep.
Mike and I will work on an agenda for that. So thanks for coming and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Good night.
Enjoy, be well.
Thank you.
Night.
Good night.